Here are the 5 most common mistakes I see parents make when they're trying to get their child to talk. I've made these mistakes before, and I know that my husband and my family have all made these mistakes when we were trying to get our son to talk for the first time. He was behind, he wasn't meeting his milestones, and you just get so anxious about it, and you just stress that, okay, I've got to help them, I've got to get them talking more. They're not talking as much as that kid or that kid, and you get nervous, you get worried. Maybe that's how you found this video in the first place, and I'm here to help you not make those mistakes. But instead, I'm here to teach you ways that you can help your child and get them speaking their first words. Hi, my name is Emily. I'm the founder of The Speech Parent, and I'm a speech therapist and a mom, and I help parents raise confident communicators with simple, evidence-based strategies that fit into your everyday life. All right, so the first common mistake that I truly see all parents doing all the time is they ask their child too many questions. Literally, they will hold something up and be like, what's this? What's this? What's that? What color is this? What color is that? And the kid is just bombarded by questions, and really, they don't have a chance to communicate. They don't have a chance to learn the skill. They're just kind of tested on the skill over and over again. And it's common because we want to see how much they know. We want to see if they can answer. I get it. I do. But what we want to do instead is teach, not worry about testing. Okay, so for example, instead of saying, what's this? What does the dog say? Ruff, ruff. You could try, wow, a puppy dog. Ruff, ruff. Oh, look, the puppy dog is licking you. Ruff, ruff. So we are the ones modeling the words that we want to say, and we are not worrying about testing them or quizzing them. Now, mistake number 2 that I commonly see parents make is that they focus so hard on what we would call academic language, and they don't focus as much on functional communication, which is the real goal. For example, you know that your child needs to eventually learn their colors, their ABCs, their numbers, and so you focus really heavily on that. And for some kids, especially those with autism or other differences, they really cling to that. They really like that type of language. And that's great. You can totally work on those skills. But if your child doesn't have a lot of words yet and they're not really able to communicate their functional needs, that is the starting place. That is what we want to get to first. We want them to understand words like help, more, I want, things like that are really going to help them get their needs met. Even food that they really like or toys that are a favorite, it's more important for them to be able to say full or puppy if those are things that they have around their house that they really want or that are exciting to them or motivating to them, especially if it will help them kind of reduce frustration and not have so many tantrums and issues where you might see they're getting really frustrated that they are trying to communicate something to you and you're not getting it. Those are the words that we want to target first because that is communication that is powerful and meaningful to them. And those are the words that we want to work on first. Okay, and the third common mistake that I see parents make is they take all this information and they're like, okay, I need to talk to my kid a lot. I need to talk to them more and use these words, right? I need to not ask questions and just use a lot of words and narrate. And that is a great strategy. We do want you to narrate and model words for your child 100%. But remember that communication is a conversation. It's not a lecture. So when you're speaking to your child, don't just speak at them, right? Speak with them, even if they're not yet verbally communicating or speaking with their mouth. So get on the floor with them. Let them lead, play with them, interact and talk, but then pause. Give them chances to communicate. Even if it's not by saying words, they can communicate by pointing to pictures if you use a choice board, which I highly recommend. Or they can respond by pointing or using gestures. Again, that's great. Keep going. That's part of the conversation. Even if they make grunts or attempts, you can act as if they were communicating. Respond back to them. Model, oh, yes. If they nod their head, you're saying, yes, you do want to play with XYZ and hand it to them. Okay, so the key here is that we aren't just constantly talking. We're giving pauses. We're letting it be more turn-taking back and forth. and we're trying to make it feel like a conversation, even when I know it really doesn't. Just give that space to allow them time to think and process about what you're saying so that they can then form their own response. You have to have that breathing room and that pause, that very intentional long pause before we can see the kids speak. It's hard to jump in there when the adults are hogging the whole thing. So give your kid the breathing room they need to be able to respond in whichever way they can. Okay, the fourth common mistake that I see parents make is waiting too long to get professional help. This is a tricky one, and I'm not going to lie and say there aren't lots of barriers to speech therapy, unfortunately. As far as money, transportation, time, I get it. But if your child is really behind their milestones and you're really worried about them, talk to their doctor, go get a speech therapy evaluation. Typically through the state, there is a way for your child to get evaluated for free. I have a whole resource because I really believe that all kids deserve that evaluation if they can. So check out my resource in the description. And if you're concerned, go get your child tested for speech therapy. Okay, the worst thing that could happen is they don't qualify and you might have wasted your time a little bit, but you won't, because you'll have peace of mind that your child is on the right track and they're doing great. If your child qualifies, that is great news, because now you know exactly what you need to do, exact kind of therapy that they need in order to help them and to make progress. Early intervention is huge. I'm a huge believer in getting your child help as soon as you possibly can. It makes the biggest difference. So please do not wait too long to get your child tested. If you test them and they don't qualify, but the therapist is saying there are concerns here, we may want to try again, give it some more time and then try again if you're still concerned or they still aren't making the progress that you want. Again, early intervention is everything. So please do not wait too long to get your child tested and to get that therapy if they need it. And our fifth and final mistake that parents often make is thinking that speech therapy alone is enough. And sometimes it is. For some kids, all they need is just a little bit of help and they got the skill down. But for some kids, it's not enough, or they aren't able to get enough speech therapy to meet their needs based on a bajillion factors. Okay, so that is why I created this channel. That's why I have these programs to help parents, because you can make a huge difference for your child's speech language development at home, just in everyday routines, doing everyday life. You can learn strategies and learn techniques that speech therapists use, okay? And once you implement them into the home environment, I have seen massive improvements, not only for my son, but for other kids that I've helped as well. It is so cool to watch your kid have incredible growth, and it feels slow at first. It does, and it's hard, and it's a lot to remember to do all of the things. But once you get the techniques down, you can ask my husband or my parents who have learned these techniques to help my son. Once you get it down, it is so easy to just kind of bring it out when you're playing, or bring it out of the bathtub, or when you're at mealtime. It just gets a lot easier the more practice you have and the more times you do it. So don't be afraid to keep watching these videos, keep learning, and just getting these skills so that you can incorporate them into your home environment. It's not too hard. You can do it. I believe in you, and I'm so excited to see your child grow and thrive with your help.